Hello YouTube again. I'll have another video for you guys. This time it's only been a week since my last video versus a month between the two before then. But I have a little bit to talk about. This video's not going to be too long, not quite as long as my last one, which was about I think 40 minutes. So it's probably going to be closer to 10 or 15. But my camcorder is still broken, or I haven't really tried fixing it yet. But so I'm using a digital camera of mine. But that's not really important. What's important is what I have to talk about here. So, firstly, 2 or 3 days ago, my brother had some friends over, as did I, and the computers got cleared out a little bit for the sake of the ping pong table being open, and some got moved here and stuff, and they're just kind of overflowing. But, excuse me. So yeah, they have been overflowing a little bit, but I'm starting to get on my way towards selling them. And before I talk about how the selling's been going, I'm going to talk about what I acquired over the past, well, since yesterday. Since yesterday I did get some more items. Firstly, this Dell Dimension 8200. It takes RD RAM. It had a 1.8 GHz Pentium 4, no RAM, no hard drive, but it does have a perfectly functional CD rewritable drive, something that's all too much of a rarity despite all my drives here. Almost all of them are jammed most of the time. I had to put a floppy drive in it. It doesn't really match the coloration, but it's a different PC, that's why. But it's an okay little machine. I don't have it on because I was going to run Windows Update, and I was going to download a bunch of updates for it. But I wanted to go off and play multiplayer video games, so I decided to pause it because my internet is not good enough so that I can download and play games online at the same time. So I shut it off, and there's really no point in turning it on because there's nothing really interesting about it. Excuse me, I'm just going to type in some information into this computer so I can get going towards setting it up, because it's going to take 20 or 30 minutes to install the rest of the stuff on it. Hold on. Oh, damn it. What did I do? I'm installing XP Media Center. I'm supposed to do some extra file extracting or something, but as I was saying, this 8200 is nothing super special. I put 512 megs of RD RAM as is standard. I usually put 512 megs of RAM in all my computers. This isn't focusing. About a 40 GB Seagate hard drive in it. It had a GeForce 2 MX400 64 meg video card in it. 2-port USB card in the back there. I've got the USB plugged into it. Put XP Home on it, so I could probably get 30, maybe 40 bucks out of it, but probably more like 30, which isn't too bad considering I don't have to do a whole lot of work to set it up. Okay, now it's going. But this PC over here, I got yesterday. It has the case siding. It's a clear case siding. I don't know where it went though. Oh geez, finding it's going to be a pain. Oh, it's right here. It's right here. Looks kind of fancy. Needs some cleaning though. It has some scratches and stuff in it, but overall it's a pretty nice little case siding. The case is pretty cool because it has those lights in the front. They don't have any other settings. They're just either on or off if you plug them in or if you leave them unplugged. But the motherboard's model, it's kind of dark, can't see, but I can see it. It's a A13G Plus version 3. I think it's socket AM2. I think, or AM2 Plus, but it has a AMD Athlon X2, either that or it's a 64X2 2.3 GHz, which I think is a 4400 plus. And it's a 1 GB stick of DDR2 667 MHz memory, but I think it can handle higher than that. I'm probably gonna put 2 gigs in it. It has integrated video, but I can put a PCI Express video card in it, which I do not have that many spares of, so I might just leave that out. It had a 200 GB IDE drive in it, but I took that out and put an identical one in it. And the reason I had to swap them out was because I have to wipe every single drive before I sell anything on eBay. People have asked me questions about this. People have asked me, why don't you just not wipe your hard drives? It's a waste of time. But no, it's not a waste of time, because other people's data is private information that cannot be used or viewed by anyone else. So I can't just, reformatting a hard drive doesn't clear the data off of it. Well, technically it does, but the data is actually still on the hard drives even if you reformat that. And the only way to destroy data is by wiping. So a 200 gigabyte hard drive would take about 3-4 hours to wipe. So I just swapped it out in 2 minutes, which was much quicker. It's like a 450 watt power supply or something. And yeah, it doesn't have a COA up. I'm just loading XP Center Edition because I have enough COAs to pretty much every version of Windows XP. But yeah, that's it for that. This heatsink was to a motherboard, a similar motherboard. It was actually pretty good for its age. I think it was from maybe 2004, 2005, but this thing was not a cheap motherboard when it came out. This thing was probably top of the line. It has, I think, socket AM2. It doesn't support dual cores, I don't think. I think it's only AMD Athlon 64s. But it takes DDR RAM. It has 2 PCI Express slots. And, sorry about that. I just had to clear up some space in my SD card here. But, I don't, maybe this thing wasn't super duper awesome when it first came out. But it does have a little card that you need to swap out if you're using single or double video cards in it, which is kind of odd. So it was probably created at the very beginning of when SLI was becoming popular, or probably even before then. But unfortunately, this motherboard does not work, which is why it was in my scrapping bin, because it doesn't give any video output, and this fan spins kind of slow, and this gets really, really hot. Like I touch the top here, and I can barely keep my finger on it. It gets so hot. So that's clearly not normal. So I decided to chuck it. So yeah, it was actually I actually found it in a box with some other stuff, including, if I can find it, this video card. 6600 GT. I don't think it works. I think my brother said he tested it and didn't give any output, but I'm going to fully test it on my own in a little while, see what I can do with it. Yeah, I think it's like 128 meg, I think. It says 128E. On top there you can't see it, but it says 128E. I think that means it's 128 megabyte in PCI Express. So, if that would work, that would be nice, but I don't think it does. What else to mention? I got this Dell Dimension. Oh, that's under this E310 here. Yeah, that it is under this E310. Hold on a sec. Not the best thing to do with the camera, but anyway, this Dell Dimension 2400 was given to me from a friend of my father's, who I actually there was a computer I sold to her. It was a an HP Slimline S5000. It's the best computer I've ever got. And I got it a couple months ago, and I made a video on it, or a video partially mentioning it. And I sold it for $250. I have 3 GHz AMD Athlon X2, 4 gigs of DDR3 memory, 640 gig hard drive, Windows 7 Home Premium 64-bit, and all that. I couldn't sell it online, so I sold it to her, so that was nice. She gave me this 2400. The 2.6 GHz Pentium 4, 5 megs of DDR RAM. I didn't write down the speed, whatever. I put a 4 gig hard drive in it since she did not give me it with a hard drive. It only has one drive, one DVD or CD drive. It's a DVD-ROM, so it doesn't do CD rewritable, but it's not a huge deal. It's in pretty good condition, and I just set it up and updated it and all that stuff, so it's not really a whole lot of anything interesting right there. This computer I've got like 3 weeks ago, maybe. It's just this one that doesn't have a case siding for it. I mentioned it earlier. It's got some pretty neat hardware in it, although it doesn't have a hard drive or memory, which I might have taken out earlier. But including like a pretty nice looking video card. But not really a big deal. I'm just gonna leave it there. I doubt I'm ever gonna get a case siding for it. Actually, I might, but I don't know. I haven't really thought about it yet. I also mentioned that video card has blown caps, so I haven't processed that yet either. But I also got some other machines, although I tossed most of them into the back of my dad's truck, so when we go to the recycling center next week, I can check them out I scrapped him. It was an old HP Compact. I can't remember the model number, but it was a really old HP. At first I thought it was one of those old CRT monitors, but it actually had a computer built into the bottom. You could undo some little knobs and slide out a motherboard from the bottom. And I scrapped the motherboard. It had a really old CPU, and it had this type of CPU. It's an Intel i486DX, but it has that metal thing on top of it for some reason. Yeah, ceramic CPU. I didn't bother pulling out the drive because they were really in there. I had to deassemble the entire thing. It wasn't really worth it because to only get like 50 cents or $1 worth of scrap, so I skipped on that. I also got a really old, I don't know what it was. Maybe it was another HP. It was a desktop, which I scrapped. I think it also had a ceramic CPU. I think it also had a i486 in it. But yeah, this is one machine I actually got 3 weeks ago, maybe. It's a Optiplex GX620. It had a Pentium dual core in it, but as I mentioned before, it didn't have a case siding to it. It was missing the front bezel. All it had in it was a motherboard, CPU, and some memory, and the power supply. So I'm getting rid of the case because I just don't need it. Oh, actually, I should take out these PCI slot backings because these things are useful. These things are very interchangeable, so they're useful. But I really have no use for this thing, so you know, not really worth my time. And another HP here that I also did not have a case siding or anything for. Actually, all it was missing was a case siding. It had a 2.8 GHz Pentium 4. I popped the motherboard out and put it over here, along with the backing to it. And I might test it and sell it if it works, but probably not. I don't know, because I've been pretty bogged down with other things to do. But I think that's pretty much it. I got the Scale Dimension 9100 back from a buyer. This is part of business. For any of you who are looking to go into this sort of business, this type of thing just happens. You cannot avoid it, where you sell something and it comes back to you. You know, they want to return it. It's broken, essentially, is what I'm saying. It's unavoidable. You can minimize it and make it happen less frequently, but you can never completely stop it from happening, where items get broken in shipping. It's always going to happen. But this is a 9100 I sold for, I think it was $80. I think it has like a 3 GHz Pentium 4 DVD-ROM drive. I think I put like an X1300 Pro in it, 128 video card, and all that, but it's not working. I don't know what is wrong with it. And one thing I noticed in shipping was that, if you look here, there's a big dent in the back of the computer. It's like caved in a little bit. It's not quite. I can't really see much with the camera, but if you look at it, it's a very dented in the back here, which is not really a good sign. Probably got to take some of the hardware out and bang with a hammer and bang the dent out. But that was probably done in shipping, and you know, that's not good. I might want to reform my shipping criteria to make sure this doesn't happen anymore. But yeah, this one was broken. It's really tough to think that, well, since I refunded the initial item cost, I don't lose any money off that, but I lose money off the original shipping, which I paid for, and the return shipping, which I paid for. So by putting work into this PC and selling it online, I have, instead of making money, I have lost about $60 or $70 off selling this, simply from shipping costs, from having to refund shipping costs. $60 or $70 loss from getting and working on this PC. It really kind of sucks, but you know, I have so many other machines. If 1 in 10 breaks, and I lose a little bit of money off that 1 in 10, but I make a lot of money off the other 9 in 10. You know, it's a pretty big net gain, although there are small cases in which things kind of suck because you lose a lot of money off doing a lot of work. But if I repair this easily without having to spend lots of money or lots of time, and I sell it again, I'll probably go break even on it. Maybe make $5 or $10. I don't know. I was going to mention something else, but I can't quite remember what it was. Or maybe that's it. I don't know. Still haven't looked at this laptop. It's really old. Also have a stick of RAM on top of it I need to put away. But, okay, cool, this computer's done. Let's downloading those files on it at least. It's about 9 o'clock on a Sunday night. I've finished all my homework, thankfully, but, sorry about that, I just ran out of recording space. I was about to wrap it up, but, I forgot to mention that I've been selling quite a few things recently. Today I listed, actually, yesterday I sold 2 computers. Dell Dimension 4700 and 8400 for $130 profit total. And today I listed 4 computers, one of which, a Dell Dimension 4600, sold within 2 hours of it being listed, since I've listed them all as buy it nows. So selling is ramping up a little bit. I got those boxes full of PCs, and there are 3 more inside the house I need to package up and ship. But, yeah, I'm probably going to start trying to sell a lot more computers, as I just said. I'm repeating myself over and over again. But, you know, I'm probably going to try to sell 5 or 10 PCs a week, so this area will be get cleaned out by summertime, so I can have parties and stuff without tripping over desktops everywhere. So, now I am going to close it up. So, as usual, thank you guys for watching, and see you all later.